Hey everyone, Caleb here. Wanted to do a quick video about some of the stuff I've been working on in the world of DMX and wireless control. As a lot of you know, I moved kind of more from the Bluetooth apps to the wireless DMX and wired DMX too, I guess. Back earlier this year, you know, probably about half a year ago or so. And it's been an interesting process. I'm very thankful for all the online resources that are out there, like Meet the Gaffer with Luke Searvald, as well as, of course, Andrew Locke with Gaffer and Gear, as well as many others, the Gaffer Salon on Facebook, all that kind of stuff, Blackout Lighting Console Group. It's all really good, very, very helpful stuff, and it's really decreased the learning curve for DMX stuff. So I got a few questions on my setup and what I've been doing recently. I'll start by going through this, so hopefully you can see that. So this is my iPad setup that I use with Blackout Lighting Console. Let me pull it up here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. I did my best with it. I'm having to use the outdoors in my garage door as a makeshift key light for this one, so we'll make it happen. So I am using an iPad Air. I forget which generation this is. I believe it's probably a generation or two behind. I bought this about a year and a half ago. So they probably come out with a newer one by now. The battery life on it is pretty good from what I've seen. It typically gets me through almost a full 12-hour shoot day. And if it's commercial work, you know, and it's 10-hour days, it usually gets me through no problem at all, really. But that being said, I have had to supplement it with a couple things, as you can see. The first one is, of course, this guy. So this is the Ratpack Satellite. A lot of you may be familiar with this. This is Ratpack's more affordable option. So they have the AKS Plus, I believe is what it's called, and then they have this guy. And this is really meant to go along with the AKS Plus and give you more universe control. But I find that it does work very good for on-set type of work. It gives you only one universe, but right now that's all I'm really dealing with. I'm not having to do multiple universe type setups, you know, big studio things. I'm really only doing small commercial work, small feature work, and this has got me by very nicely. The only problem I've had with it is really more of a problem with myself, and that is for a few days on a feature film earlier this summer, I had this on my belt because I didn't want to lose Wi-Fi connection with it. And so that actually damaged the antenna. So I had to super glue that back on. It does still rotate. And as far as I can tell, it hasn't really come with any lack of functionality with it. But that is something to be aware of. It is a little bit fragile. You do kind of have to take care of it when you're on set. And that is what led me, after doing that feature with it, that's actually what led me to just say, okay, I'm just going to mount it to the iPad. So I started exploring accessory options for the iPad and found this cool case by Axoon. It was really the only case that I could find that did this type of thing. If you guys know of another one, by all means, let me know. But this one's been pretty good for me. It's just an aluminum case. The only critique of it I have is it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to pull the iPad out and securely mount the iPad in. I guess, you know, you do want it nice and secure, so that kind of comes with the trade-offs, kind of comes with the territory. But that's really the only critique I have of it. It's been a very good case so far. It has awesome quarter 20 mounting holes along with locating pins, which goes along very nicely. I can pull this off with the arm that I've chosen to use. So I chose to go with this iFootage arm. I originally saw this like 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago on Gerald Undone's channel. And that was more when I was, I would say, still leaning towards lighting, but, you know, had to be more involved with camera than I really like to be. So I was researching these arms, and they really seemed rock solid, and they are really rock solid, I would say. So this has been awesome. I just have one of these little nubs or whatever, you know, mounting points, I guess, on the top of the iPad case, and then one right here. I keep this all assembled or disassembled in my little throw over bag, and then throw over the shoulder bag. And then once I get to set, it's very quick to just assemble this, and it's good to go for really the rest of the day. The final component that I added to this was, of course, the baby pins. So you can get these from many different places, Modern Studio, Matthews. I got this one from Cinnamil just because it was easy and it was on B&H. The only thing that I added, as you can see, is a little washer to give it proper spacing so that the thread actually wasn't drilling up into the iPad. Beyond that, the only other thing that you can add to this guy if you want to is back here. So this case, another cool thing that this case has as a feature is it comes actually with a Sony NPF plate. If I can pull this off here. So it comes with a Sony NPF plate. Why does this matter? Well, as many of you might guess already, it does have charging ports. So I can throw on one of these Sony NPF batteries onto the plate, and then I can charge my iPad and I can charge the Ratpack simultaneously if I really need to. Additionally, this has just worked really well for me. It's nice and light. I can carry it around if I want to mount it to the table, or not really mount it, but just if I want to set it down on the table. It also doubles as a kickstand, which is really cool. So I can set it down, if I'm just walking around with it, not necessarily mounting it to a stand per se. I can just walk around, set it down on any table that I want to. The arm is incredibly stable, and it's stable enough to where I can just kind of carry it by the arm itself, especially since this kind of helps because the center of gravity is kind of up in this world anyways. So that's been great. It's really been an awesome solution as opposed to just wearing it around your belt or magnetizing it to a stand. I was about to magnetize it to this, but this is aluminum, so that wouldn't really work. But this Ratpack can magnetize to a stand, which I've seen a lot of people do. That is a good solution. I just didn't want to have to deal with any of the disconnecting from the Wi-Fi problems. Not that the Wi-Fi range is bad on this guy. It is less than the AKS is my understanding, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. For those of you that don't know, quick little overview. The iPad connects via Wi-Fi to the Ratpack, and then the Wi-Fi converts all the commands that are going on with blackout. It converts those and sends them over a wireless DMX signal. But as many of you might know, wireless DMX is not a be-all end-all perfect solution. So with that being said, I was running into a couple issues on set. Nothing crazy, but the cool thing about wireless DMX is you can really troubleshoot those issues and make the system work for you. So I saw a video by Andrew Locke, and I believe it was called Wireless DMX Hub or something to that effect. And I said, gosh, that's a really, really good idea, because I was running into the exact same issue that he was. I will link that video in the description. I highly encourage you to go check that out. But I was running into the same issue that he was, and that was basically, let's say you have, 6 or 7 lights on your set, and let's just throw out a number. 4 of them have built-in DMX. Well, at the time, I only had 2 of these things. I now have 4, just to give myself a little bit more of an insurance policy. But I only had 2 of these, and so I had to come up with creative solutions, or not so creative solutions. It was basically just daisy chaining lights. And for those of you that have done that, if you've done that on a location set, on a studio it's a bit different, but on a location set, that sucks. It's just not a very good solution. So he came up with this idea, and I totally stole it from him shamelessly. I apologize, Andrew, but thank you so much for your wisdom. This is a really cool solution to that. So what is this, guys? So essentially, if I take this off again, essentially this is a wireless DMX hub, like he talked about in his video. It consists of a DMX 4-way splitter. So this is an isolated splitter. So basically, when I plug this guy in, this is going to convert that into 4 isolated DMX. You get the full universe of DMX signals. So I can run all my DMX cables out to the lights that perhaps don't have CRMX, or maybe CRMX is giving me issues on that day because of other signals in the room. There's any number of issues. You can also run this hardwired into an adapter I have for the Ratpack as well, which is kind of cool too. But for right now, we're just talking about it in its more wireless configuration. So with that being said, I got one of these DTAP to USB-C adapters. And so that plugs in there. And then I got this V-mount battery plate. I'll take this off. And it had a few barrel adapters as well. So as you can see, it has 5 volt, 8 volt, 12 volt, 15 volts, kind of upside down, but you get the point. And I just got this little barrel adapter. This DMX splitter box, if I'm not mistaken, takes anywhere from 8 to 24. I'll correct that in the description or in the video if I am mistaken. So I just picked the 12 volt solution. And as you can see, so now I can feed 4 different DMX cables out to all my different lights. This is also a really good solution for if a light, let's say, is behind a wall, like a stone or a brick wall, and the CRMX signal is having trouble getting through that wall to the light. Even, I have run into situations before, especially on that feature film, because it was a period piece, a lot of the walls were stone, and so the CRMX signal couldn't get through. So that's kind of what started the gears turning in my brain, if you will, to come up with some sort of a solution. And really, I didn't come up with anything groundbreaking. It's all been done before. But this has been a really good solution for me because you can simply, throw a 50-foot or a 25-foot DMX cable into this, plug it into your light, and this is all battery powered. It'll run for like 2 days straight, and you can place this, you can honestly just place this right next to your transmitter. And then that basically puts your receiver in a much more advantageous spot than on the light. Built-in lumen radio CRMX is an amazing feature. I'm very happy that more and more lights are coming out with that feature, but there's still definitely, in my experience so far, which is only about 6 months of working with this stuff, there still very much is a need for having a good, not only this type of solution, but also hardwired DMX as well, because there's some situations where the wireless protocols just don't work quite as well, or you're not getting queuing at the same response times. The signal is deteriorating, something along those lines. So this is a really good solution for that, as well as, of course, hardwired DMX is a good solution for that as well. So that's my little spiel. Nothing really crazy with this. Like I said, I will link the idea of where I got this to another video. I do really like this, though. I think the only improvement I'm going to make is perhaps getting, a little 6-inch DMX cable and putting some Velcro on this T-Mo-Link receiver and Velcroing it right here instead of having it stick off. I could see this possibly being a hazard or a concern, or somebody on set just walks by and kicks this thing, and then boom, all of a sudden you've damaged your receiver or you've damaged your splitter box. Just some other thoughts I have on it. Like I said, it runs for about 2 days in my testing so far. I also like on the rocker switch. This is part and parcel to, I just line things up the way that I thought that would be more advantageous. And it has been, because if you're in a dark room or something like that, you can't always see everything to make sure that everything is working properly. So whenever, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but whenever you flip this to on, you can immediately see that you have power on your battery plate. You can see that you have power on your DMX splitter box, and you can also see that you have power on your receiver. And you can do that all just by looking directly at it once you flip that button. You're not having to fumble with this thing in the dark. You've got DMX cables coming out of it and stuff like that. It's just the little things, it's that's increasingly what I'm finding when working with this kind of stuff, as well as working with anything G&E or camera related. It's just the little things that make your life that much easier, speed up your day, make you less stressed, better able to do your job, really. So with that being said, I'm going to quit rambling. Let me know your thoughts on DMX. Are you looking to make the switch over more from the Bluetooth apps to the wireless or wired DMX systems? Are you going to go with blackout or more of an old-fashioned dimmer pack, dimmer board? Or are you going to go with an iPad but just with something else? Or are you going to go with an Exalux? There are lots of different options out there for this stuff. This has just really helped me out so much, just to have more peace of mind that things are going to work. I start up my Ratpack, I start up my iPad, and all my lights are automatically connected. It's just been good. It's just been very good. And then, overcoming some of those obstacles of getting around, things like the thick walls, let's say, that you can't get a signal through, or, if you're more than a football field away, that's when this thing tends to lose good, reliable signal. So yeah, just figuring out ways to make this stuff work for you, as opposed to always stressing about it not working. It's been good, and I'm very, very thankful for it. So yeah, let me know what you've come up with solutions, what your experiences with the Bluetooth apps and with CRMX has been. I look forward to hearing it. I really do. I look forward to learning from you guys. With all that being said, have a great day.